First of all, welcome to everybody. It's fantastic to see such a group of people coming here at a busy time on a busy day. You're most welcome to join us in celebrating Brunel's event for International Women's Day. It's my great pleasure to introduce our first speaker today, Zara Asante. Zara is a student in our Brunel Law School. She's a final year student there, but she also works part-time as a caseworker for an MP in the House of Commons. She might tell us which one, but she may not. As a former international model, she's travelled the world. She's walked down runways, not when the planes are there, I hope, for some of the world's most famous and prolific designers. She's also an international athlete representing Scotland regularly in international competitions. Zara uses her experience as a student, model and athlete to motivate young people to work hard, persevere and live their dreams. And she's a credit to us at Brunel. It's over to you, Zara.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. First of all, I really want to thank Iwandi because I was so inspired by what she just said. And I just thought, oh my goodness, I'm buzzing. I want to go out and just start today. So yeah, thank you so much for that. Today, I am the product of my mother, and she was my inspiration. She was my Miss Lopez. She was a person that invested so greatly into me and instilled in me the need to invest in other people. When I was younger, she told me a story about a woman. Now, you may recognize bits of this story because my mother used to just take bits of random stories and pretend they were one story. They really weren't. But she told me this story about a woman that saw this most amazing pearl. It was the most beautiful pearl she'd ever seen in her life, and she wanted to own this pearl. And she sold everything she owned. She was quite a wealthy woman. She sold everything and she traveled the world, and she thought to herself, I am going to find this valuable pearl and this will just make my life complete. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. So sold everything, went abroad, traveled the world, came back 10 years later empty-handed. And she was disappointed and she thought, you know, I've given up everything and I haven't managed to find this one pearl that I really want. And she went back to the property that she sold and she realized that, wow, this has grown. The buildings are like, there are more buildings on the land. You know, the person I've sold to has really done amazing things with this land. And she spoke to her neighbor and said, you know, this person's really done well with the land. What's going on? And her neighbor said, actually, the lady was digging in the garden because she wanted, you know, to grow vegetables, etc. And she found this amazing pearl. And it's not funny. It's a shame. She found this amazing pearl and she sold that pearl. And with that money, she's, you know, just expanded the place completely. And my mother told me that story at such a young age because she wanted me to know that what I need is not out there somewhere. I don't have to go looking for it. I already have it in my hand. So many people say that the future is ahead of you and you have to chase it. But my mother showed me that actually your future is inside of you. And you just need to use what is in your hand to pull it out. Now, what do I mean when I say what is in your hand? Well, we have examples like Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey said the only thing she was ever good at was talking. And look at where her talking's got her. I don't know if any of you watch Super Nanny. Do you see Joe Frost putting the children on the naughty step? Now, her talent is for children, and so many of us underestimate the talents that we have because we think, well, yeah, I'm good with children, but where's that ever going to get me? Well, ask Joe Frost. She's been to America, she's written books. My question to you is, what do you have in your hand? For me, my mother showed me that, Zara, you know what? Never give up. She instilled perseverance into me. I'm a person that will fight. If I think something is right or there's an injustice, I will fight to see justice to the very last. Even if I fail, I don't care. I need to be able to say, do you know what? I fought till the end. And that is something that I have in my hand. What do you have in your hand? Because that is the key to your future and that is the key to you fulfilling your destiny. I am 32 years old. I'm a mature student. And lots of people said to me, when I came to university, it's the first time I came, I wanted to start athletics again. They said, no, you know, it's too late. You know, you're 27. Most people start when they're like 16. But thankfully, I had a mother that did not allow me to be limited by these things. And so I started athletics, and a few weeks ago, I came third at the British National Indoor Championships. And everybody in the podium was, okay, thank you. But the funny thing was, everybody that I was competing against, so many of them were half my age, but I didn't let it limit me, because dreams don't have deadlines. And never let someone let you think that your dream has a deadline. It doesn't. You just have to take what you have in your hand and use it. I want you to turn to the person next to you and tell them one thing you have in your hand, something that you love, something that you have a passion for, something that you're good at. I'll give you 30 seconds, go. And don't be modest, don't be modest. What's the time at? What's the time at? Okay, fine. Four, okay. Check my notes. Okay. Okay, you're totally running my time down now. You stop talking, I'm only joking. Okay, so volunteers, someone, yes, what did the person next to you say they had in their hand?
This lady said she was really good at listening.
Really good at listening, I love that. Yes, what did the person tell you they had in your hand?
Planting.
Planting, oh, that's a good one. Yes? Not listening, clearly. Persistence, I like that. Okay, so at the back. The man in the stripy shirt.
Let's speak to students and listen to them.
Excellent, I love it. And we'll have one more from over here, the lady in the light blue top. Yes. Yes, ye. Ideas, excellent, I love that. Now, these are the things that will help us fulfill our potential. It's what we have in our hand and we have to use it. Now, there was this Ghanaian educator, my parents are originally from Ghana, and his name was Dr. K. Agre. And he said that if you educate a man, you've educated an individual for life. But if you educate a woman, you educate a nation. And I love the fact that Yuwandi was talking about Ms. Lopez, because it's so true. Women have an inherent ability to pass on the things they know and the things they can do effectively. So my next question to you is, what are you passing on? Because my mother always let me know that a champion is not just someone who's great at something, but a true champion is someone that can pass on what they know and what they can do to others so that the next generation is better than they are. So what are you passing on? Oh gosh, I love it. Who said that? Was it you? Advice. Advice I'm passing on. But what are you passing on? Because we all have our own stories, but I believe that everybody's story continues into someone else's story. And if we cut off our story at ourselves, we've not only cheated other people, we've cheated ourselves. Now, I love the story of Brandon because it just ties in. He took what he had in his hand. He took photographs. He may not have been the best photographer. Nobody said he was. Is that 7 minutes? Okay. Nobody said he was the best photographer, because actually, a lot of the time, you don't have to be the best at what it is you do. And a lot of us get discouraged. It's like, well, you know, I'm never going to be put in a big museum if I take photographs. Brandon didn't let that hinder him. But because he used what he had in his hand, that affected this boy, Vandal? And then Miss Lopez was, you know, the whole world knew what Miss Lopez was doing with these young children, how she was inspiring them. And that is the ability, that is the potential of using what you have in your hand. It's not just about you. It doesn't stop with you. It stops with so many others. Now, to finish, I'll say this. I've noticed that as women, we're so good at passing on to our children. But sometimes we're not so good at passing on to one another. We'll see someone new coming into the workplace and be like, oh, look at her. She thinks she's fantastic, or, oh, great, the boss loves her. She's getting all the attention. And a lot of the time, we're not willing to allow others to stand on our shoulders. Now, another thing, my mother taught me a lot, as you probably worked out, but another thing my mother taught me was to always let people stand on my shoulders. She said, Zara, do you know what? You're a great person, but there'll be others that come after you that are great too. and they need you to instill their greatness so that they can be even greater than you. Allowing people to be greater than you is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. Now, I think I'm fantastic. Like, I really love myself. I actually do. But even I realize that there will be greater people than me. And instead of looking at them disdainfully, instead of trying to bring them down, I want to be part of it. I want to be able to instill what I have in them so that their future is so great and so that I can say, yes, I had a part in that. So I'll leave you with this. When you know what you have in your hand and you start using what you have in your hand, allow people to stand on your shoulders so that your greatness is reflected in them and so that we can all be great together. Thank you.